Hello, I'm Bruce Zimmerman, and this is the Open Line Garden Show podcast for this week. Recently, the St. Catharines Sustainable Committee has approached the councillors and mayor of St. Catharines to change the gardens over at City Hall to include a vegetable garden and vegetables instead of using annuals and other flowering plants. This is the Garden City. And while I agree totally with growing more fruits and vegetables, particularly on our home gardens, there has to be a responsibility taken for maintaining the idea that this is the Garden City. And therefore, putting vegetables and mixing vegetables into existing beds and expanding them and using them may or may not be the most attractive of gardens. When I was growing up, not in St. Catharines, people used to grow vegetables in their front yard. And a lot of people went, "Ooh, that's ugly." And those are in the days when you actually found it easier to grow things because we had pesticides, etc., to keep the plants healthy, etc. So you could knock down the bugs, okay, and make sure that you did actually have attractive plants with good-looking fruits and vegetables. This may not always be the easiest. It is certainly not at all easier to grow without them, as we all have learned basically the hard way. It's more work. They have also said that they think $300 will be enough to do this conversion, and that this will give us extra fruits and vegetables to be given to the local food bank. Now, I support the local food bank myself. I believe in it. I believe in the Plant a Row, Grow a Row program, which is everybody, as gardeners, grows an extra plant, an extra row, fruits and vegetables, and gives it to the food bank and to those people in need. That's all they have to do. They don't register. They don't have to. If they have a crop failure, that's fine. But it's always ripe, clean fruits and vegetables. And there's never enough going to the food bank. As soon as they get there, they're gone. Because everybody, and I do mean everybody, knows there's nothing like fresh, ripe fruits and vegetables locally grown. They're ready to go. And the other thing is that it will not make City Hall any more attractive. In fact, it'll probably be the other. It'll also attract animals. Now, let's be honest. The animals are a lot smarter than people. They know exactly when the fruit will be ripe and just at their peak. And how many stories over the last 50 years of gardening have I heard where I was going out to pick my apricots or my raspberries or my vegetables or my tomatoes, and they were going to be just perfect tomorrow, and guess what? The animals showed up that night before and went and ate them, took them, etc. Or at least took a bite out of everything. How many times have I seen that? I see that almost every year. So all it's going to do by putting this extra food for the animals out is to attract more animals to the downtown area. Now, we won't say that those animals are such things as squirrels, but it could be opossums, it could be rats, it can be mice, it could be rabbits, it could be foxes, because, of course, if their others are doing really well, then the foxes and the coyotes will hopefully move in and try and control in nature's own balance. Are we going to find that this is far more attractive? No, it's not. And we're going to have to modify the bylaws to say that you can actually have things higher in grasses and other things in your front yard. We could have a problem. I know a prairie garden that, not in this city, was basically cut down and abused and destroyed by city workers because the neighbors complained that it was too weedy, not understanding that it was a natural prairie where all these wildflowers and daffodils and other plants grew, destroyed it. Did they do anything about it? Did they say they're sorry? No. Okay? Did they want to charge her and put more money on her taxes for having sent these people in to abuse this? Yes. So we're going to have to do some rethinking here. And let's be honest, when I went to school in horticulture, vegetable gardens were said to be a very strong function of a garden, and an ugly one. It was always put out of the way. It was usually designed to get lots of sunlight, but other plants and surrounding areas were put in, such as hedges, even hedges of currants, etc., or other plant material or mixed borders to cover up this ugly area of the garden known as the vegetable garden. You can keep it tended, you can keep it weeded, you can keep it cultivated, and still it is not the most attractive of gardens. And of course, still, no matter what you do, is going to attract animals. We could, of course, also take and cage all the vegetables at City Hall in the gardens so that the food would actually be left alone by the animals, and of course people would have to go in and of course open the cages up, and of course then take and pick all the right food and do all the work in there in the cages. I think that really sends a good message as well. So if you think this is a good idea, it is a good idea to do it in your backyard, not in your front yard, not at City Hall. We want this to be a beautiful city and with people who eat healthy and local. So please plant an extra plant or an extra row of fruits and vegetables in your backyard and give the excess to those in need, a friend, a neighbor, a relative, anyone in need, including your local food bank. I'm Bruce Zimmerman. This is the Open Line Garden Show podcast for this week.